Hello all. This is Mac Daddy from the Option Alpha Forum. I was asked to put together a video on my earnings strategy, earnings trading plan anyway. So let's go. Here's the TOS platform. And here, first thing I do is go to scan in, and I have a watch list for the Option Alpha watch list. So some of the things I look at is I like to have decent volume. I like to have, this is the option open interest. I like to do a little bit of a scan on this. I don't want to make this too tight because I want to make sure that I get enough symbols. Um, the stock price, I'm actually going to take that out. Don't really care. And it has earnings anytime within the next, we're going to say 7 days. I would like IV percentile anywhere from 20 to 100. And so double check, and let's do a quick scan. And this comes up with the plays for next week. So JCPenney was actually last week. So do a little quick here. Oops. And so you can see that price line is after market on Monday, today being Sunday. So we have price line, Salesforce, 3D printing, Target. So we got a few next week we can check out. It is towards the end of the earnings season, so it's gonna slow down. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to save this watch list as my Option Alpha 27 Feb earnings. And do a save, and so now I can pull them up over here. And there we are. So now this makes it easier for me since I have these all linked together with these little symbols. Then when I come over here, whenever I click on this, it will automatically load up the price line. So one of the other things I have on here is I have the days, earnings days, how many to. I also have the IV percentile. So this is what I would call IV rank. Um, to me, IV percentile is actually how many days in the past year, but IV rank, it's above 50. So this is good. So actually, all of these are look viable except for these last two. Whoop. Let's do another sort here. Get them in order. There we go. So price line looks good for that. So now we can see it has good crush, IV crush for each earnings. This one was not okay, but there's a couple good crushes in there, so that's good. I used to come here and look at this, but so I also have this study on here. It tells me if it's the aftermarket. So right here on the chart, I can see where it is. Also, as part of this study, it gives me the market maker move, the high and the low for that location, for this symbol. So I go over to the Analyze tab, go to Simulated tabs, and then I look for the closest. And there is a lot of strikes for price line because it is a high price. So that I notice on a price line is that the option volume is not great. So for me, this is not something that I would trade. It's just not enough volume on these. You can get trapped into this position. If you get in, then you won't be able to get out. So we're going to go to the next symbol, CRM, and it also looks like it has good crush. IV's above 50, and market maker move is 86 to 77. So we also have a high IV compared to the last little bit. So that's very good. And go back to this. This also has a weekly. So this also, the puts, that's not enough volume, but there is enough volume on these calls. So let's pull this up quick and let's analyze a straddle. So I default to the straddle. It's just my go-to thing for these. The other thing that I like to do is once I have it in the hair chart here, I do the percentage on each side because I like to just roughly take a rough guess with this. Oops. So you can see that this roughly has to do a 5% down move to hit roughly my break even, or a 6% up move to make for my break even. So it's got to make a pretty good move to get outside of my break even. So I would feel pretty good about this. So I'm going to leave this one in here as a potential trade later this week for earnings for this. So let me go back over to the charts. Oh, while we're here, let's finish basically the analysis of this. I usually do this more on the day, but I'm going to do a complete one here, analysis. So I go to there's a new tab here called Earnings. It's on the Analyze, and it's at the all the way to the right, called Earnings. And I've just started looking at this and just started playing this, but it has the last 8 earning cycles, and it has 5 days before and 5 days after of the earnings. So you can see the price jump. You can see the implied volatility and the historical volatility and what happened. So had good crush here, good crush here. This one, not so much, not so good crush. This one had a little bit of crush, good crush here, good crush, good crush, good crush. Here's also the price of the at the money straddle. So, which is my go-to play. So you can see that before, and you usually get good pricing afterwards. I can sell it for us before, and then I will buy it back at a lower price. So, and then this one, this bottom chart has the actuals, the estimates, so you can see whether they've been in line or above for the last little bit. So they look pretty good. The actuals, the yellow line has been above the last 3 cycles. There was one that missed a little bit below, but it looks decent there. We already looked at the closest expiration, so that's good. I would open this up the session right before this would go. So let's go back over here. So this is earnings is after the market, and it's on the 28th. Oops. One more click. There we go. So I would do this on the 28th, Tuesday, right before the close. It's not that expensive, so I'm still leaning towards a straddle for this one. Okay, so the last thing I would do is go back to here and look at the fundamentals and just do a quick deal. And this is the headlines right here. So just looking for anything that looks bad. Don't really see anything in the news. I don't really check the news too much, but I just want I don't want anything that says account you're reading it. So CRM I'm gonna leave on my list, and I'll do a final check right before the market on Tuesday, and we'll do a quick check on DDD. So its IV is rank is not very good, so probably gonna pass on that one. Target has good IV. That's had a nice march up. Had good crush according to the chart. Go to the Analyze tab. Simulated. It also has a weekly. So has good volume on the call side. So let's look at selling a straddle on this. 288, not great. So oops. Okay. So looks like it needs a 5% jump up and I don't know, like a 3.5% jump down. So that one's borderline. So I'll have to see if later this week if it really expands the volatility and pushes these break evens out more. So just do a quick check on the target and make sure. Like I said, I've just started really looking at this tab. I'm not sure if I'm going to work it into my plan or not, but just it's interesting in that you get to see the last 8 quarters pretty easily. So I do like that. So I'll leave that one loaded up also. American Eagle Outfitters. So that's had very nice march up, boom, march up, boom, march up, boom. Nice march up. Analyze, add simulated tabs. It also has the weeklies, so that's good. So this one, not enough volume for me. So I'll look at it when it gets closer, but right now this is not enough volume for me. So I like to have at least 300 on the open interest and at least 100 on the volume for the day. So of course these are Fridays, and when they traded on Friday, but we'll have to see if later this week if this volume rises up. In general, I do not like to be more than 1% of the volume traded that day. So if I trade one contract, I like to see at least 100 contracts traded that day. So that's just me. There's no perfect numbers here, but I like to make sure that I'm not 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of the contracts. So, and you can see you can be that. I mean, if you trade some of these, contracts, there was none traded here on this 14. You would be all of the volume for that day. So I'm not going to load that one up because I didn't like the volume on that. Best Buy, our favorite Best Buy. So nice ramp up, drop, ramp up, drop, ramp up, drop. Look at that. That's a nice ramp up. good wide range. You can see that the range is outside of, there's some uh, resistance at the top here and floor down here at the bottom. So that's pretty decent. And the 3rd of March, so we do have good there. And this one does not have very good interest right now. So again, I'm not going to load this one up yet. So I might before the week comes up, but we'll see. And lows, how low can we go? Nice rise up there. Analyze tab. So this does not have enough volume for me on the weeklies. It might before the end of the week. And let's just do a quick check on Costco. So Costco has some decent volume at the 180. Huh. That's interesting that it's trading at 177.56, and those options has higher volume on the upside. So just noticing that, nothing to really make of that. Nice rise up. This one's not risen as much as some of the past ones, but we'll see. So let's just load this up. I'll look at the straddle. 180 bucks. So that's a little steep for me. Yeah, see? So this has to make basically a 3% move on each side. So I'm not sure I like this. I mean, this is a little steep for me. I might look at potentially doing another type of play like a strangle or an iron condor or iron butterfly, just because it's a little pricey for me. Anyway, that's my general earnings trading plan, and that's it for today. Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye.